Hello, welcome to chapter 31. In this chapter, we will continue with the theme that we began in earlier chapter, talking about military and the use of force. Let us begin. Weapons of war are instruments of disaster. What a beginning! We already begin with a bang when they tell us that all weapons of war are instruments of disaster. They are rejected by all beings. Thus, a person of Tao will not dwell upon them. Again, as usual, the Taoist teachings are very straightforward, and they are basically telling it to us straight that we shouldn't dwell on militaristic activities. We shouldn't be pro-war. War is considered a negative thing according to the Taoist teaching, and basically, apparently, all violence and the action of force are considered negative. I also want to remind you that we've seen in earlier chapters how a Taoist person should behave, and we saw that he should be of a more passive nature. He should be a person that basically accepts how other people behaves and try to affect them as little as possible. And obviously, an act of war is something very active and very destructive according to these teachings. According to the ancient custom of yin and yang, a man of virtue values the left, which is represented by yang, and a man of war values the right, which is represented by yin. Alright, so again we see this idea of polarity. Polarity is one of those basic principles of reality in many philosophical teachings, as well as in Taoism. And here, those two polarities, this duality, is represented by yin and yang, or the left and the right. And basically they are telling us that according to these teachings, a man of virtue, meaning us, a man of Taoism, values the left, values the yang, while a person of war is considered to be the complete opposite to us, being a person of yin or a person of the right-hand side. Weapons are instruments of evil and are not valued by a man of virtue. This is the first time that we see the Taoist teaching using the term evil. This is very surprising to me because they never talked about good and evil ever. They never taken a stance. They never said something that they are so straightforward as this event. They are telling us straight that all acts of war and force are considered very negative and actually the complete opposite to what we are trying to represent in these teachings. They are basically telling us that if we are in these teachings of Taoism, if we are in one polarity, people of war and aggressiveness are the complete opposite to us, and thus would be considered evil by us. That's the extent that the Taoist teaching is taking this. They are only used as the last resort to attain pitch when all else have failed. They are basically telling us you should only use actions of force as a last resort, because basically you are using instruments of evil. If their use is necessary, it is best to employ with calmness and tranquility. Alright, so if you're already using, you need to use some sort of instrument of war, do it in a calm and tranquil way. Even if it means victory, it is not something pleasant. Those who rejoice over the victory enjoy killing. Alright, being too enthusiastic about the joy of being in the winning side should be a red flag to all of us. You shouldn't enjoy this success too much because it implies that you enjoy the process and you appreciate the process through which you became the winner of the conflict. And obviously, this means killing. It means taking the lives of others. which is, as we've read, means considered to be an evil act according to the Taoist teaching. He who delights in killing will not be favored by the people and shall not bring harmony to the world. Alright, so they try to also help the people who are more of an intellectuals and have a more powerful intellectual center, and perhaps they don't understand if we'll tell them through emotional teachings, telling them that killing others is considered to be wrong and evil. These types of people, they need a more intellectual explanation to all of this, and the wise Taoist teachers provide this explanation as well when they tell us, if you enjoy killing, you will not be favored by the people, and thus you will not bring harmony to the realm or to the world. So again and again and again, they will try in this chapter to tell us to neglect all acts of war because these are actions that are considered evil by the Taoist teaching. It is ancient custom to favor happy events to the left as represented by yang, while on sad occasions it is favored to the right as represented by yin. When this right is applied in the army, the lieutenant general takes the place of the left, and the commander-in-chief takes the place of the right. Alright, so basically they are giving us some tips on how to run a military. They basically tell us that on happy events, the left, and again, the left is the person of virtue, which is represented by yang, should be favored. This is on happy events, and on sad occasions, you should favor the yin. And that's how you maintain a balance, but don't make the mistake of enjoying the yin during happy events, because this means that you enjoy killing people and you enjoy winning too much, and that's exactly what we are trying to avoid. This indicates that war is treated as if it is a funeral service, for many lives had been killed and hence should be mourned with sorrow. You see what they did there? Basically, the way you should look at war is as if you are looking at a funeral service. You shouldn't enjoy the process of killing others. You should be saddened by the fact that you had to use force in this occasion and mourn the lives of all the people you had to kill with sorrow. Therefore, although a victory was won, it is treated like funeral rite. Alright, so these are the tips for acts of war. According to the Taoist teachings, all war is considered to be a negative thing. You should not enjoy any act of war. You should always try to avoid war and acts of aggression in any way possible. And even if you win a conflict, you should be saddened by that fact and look at the occasion as if it's a funeral rite, because you just killed all these people and you should be saddened by it.